32 years ago, the creators Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, and Todd Johnson created the comic books company Image. And 1 year later, they signed two black creators, Larry Stroman and Todd Johnson, to create their most popular book as a unit, Trial Comics. And today, on Show the Green Box, we will be interviewing both of the creators so they can tell us about the process of creating their famous comic book, The Trial.
Welcome back to the hood. This is Chill on the Green Box with Specks, Thompson interview. And thanks to my co-host for doing that award-winning, introduction to our guest we got today. They're legends in the game, Todd and Larry. For people who don't know who y'all are, introduce yourselves, let them know who are y'all.
I'm Todd Johnson, writer of Tribe.
I am Larry Stroman. I've been in the comic business for a long time. I've drawn a lot of comics, including Tribe.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show, man. Glad to have y'all on. I've been seeing y'all book. I seen everybody, posted up and whatnot. So, I recently dived into it. So, I read, I got a hold of issue 0 and 1 through website. That website I probably took some money from y'all, but I did some research on y'all, so I know what I'm talking about before I talk to y'all. But I'm glad y'all come on my show.
I said, you mean to tell me you didn't know about us before this interview?
Well, I was going to talk about it in the interview because I also have another guest book as well. He did Ant, and I just got hit too, so I don't know if it's something culturally I just missed out on comics or what, but
it depends on how old are you. How old are you, Specks?
What's this, 2024? I'm 32.
that could be then, because Tribe came out 30 years ago, so maybe you missed it.
Well, I probably got the tail end of Milestone, but I think the only reason I knew about Milestones because of that World Collide, thing they did. So yeah. They teamed up with but like even with Image, itself, I didn't know nothing about it. I mean, Spawn, but besides that, no. Ironically, I knew about Dark Horse because my sister's friend was a Darkness fan, so that's how I got knew about Dark Horse. But besides that, like all the stuff besides DC and Marvel as a kid, I mean, I didn't know how big of a deal it was, Uh-huh. But with that being said, I mean, I assume y'all from somewhere up north, and I'm not sure if y'all know about the green electrical boxes in front of your neighborhoods. Do y'all have those?
What are they called?
I used to call it the green box, but they're the green electrical boxes. They're built on the ground. They're
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So but back in the day, we used to hang out at those, chill, meet up with friends right there. So I made my show around that whole concept, just chilling, hanging out, and talking, because I've been on a lot of podcasts, listen to a lot of podcasts that creators get on for like 2 hours and talk about their projects and whatnot, or anybody, and you never know about them or a reason why to support them. So I made my show so you learn about the creators and who they are and whatnot. So you learn more about them, so you can support them when they drop projects and stuff like that.
So that means that you don't know anything about us. We could say anything at this point, all right?
Yeah. Excuse me, but what you're saying? So I don't know about what? Larry.
So that means since you don't know about us, we could tell you anything.
I mean, you could, but I'm pretty sure the people will tell, where you telling a lie at night, and they can chime in and help me out.
What would we lie for?
I don't know. You brought it up. You said you could tell me anything.
Oh man, this is funny.
But yeah. So yes.
What made you start a show?
Well, I come from the music industry, and when I was DJ doing artist mixtapes, kind of like the same concept. Like I do a lot of these unknown rappers or singers mixtapes and put it out, and same reason, nobody knows who they are. They spend money with me, and I put it out. So I decided to interview them. And at the time, I was real big at a website called Live Mixtapes. And on Live Mixtapes, I was able to put their project out and put some YouTube clips or videos above it. So when they go to that page, they can see a short interview that I did of the artist.
Okay.
So now that I'm in the comic industry, just doing, like I said, doing podcasts, stuff like that, I decided to do it myself because I'm used to doing it, and it'll help out other creators.
Okay, so you interviewing comic people is you being in the comic industry?
Well, I have my own book. Hence, the part I just had to cut out. They came in the mail today. But I have my own series.
There we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are you the writer or the artist?
I'm the writer.
All right.
Yeah, I just I could draw and whatnot, but I can't draw as pretty that quick, so I had to hire an artist.
In the whole process of getting into comics and reading comics and making your own comic, you never heard of us?
I mean, y'all names sound familiar, but like
you never heard of the Tribe?
I mean, like I said, I've seen the books, but I never read it.
Okay.
Yeah, and like looking at the images, I've probably seen like pages in the posting online and stuff like that. Probably just wasn't aware, where it came from, stuff like that.
Where are you broadcasting from? Where are you at, Specks?
I'm from Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm in Detroit.
Okay.
Larry's
right. And where?
Near Boston.
Okay, cool. I've been in both of them places, traveling with artists. But going to my show, it's breaking down four different segments, all questions and based around the green box. And my first segment is called Breaking It Down, because when you hang out in that green box, you break concepts down, ideas down with your friends. So I want to break y'all brains down so people get a good icebreaker, like who y'all are and whatnot, before we get the show started all the way. So y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Growing up, what was y'all favorite car?
Favorite car? Corvette.
Okay.
Probably Mustang.
Mustang. Okay, yeah. I'm a Mustang family, so I understand that. Yeah, we had a couple of Mustangs. But that new Corvette model, it catches my eye, but I can't trade on my people like that,
Well, I got a GM family member, so I'm loyal to the GM thing.
Okay. Yeah, my second car in high school was a hodgepodge truck my grandpa put together of GM parts and Chevy. I don't know what the original body of the truck was, but he just put a whole bunch together and spray painted with a big Black Panther in the front of it. So, yeah. What was that?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. My next question is, if you had a choice of going to a country and living in that country, and like starting like how you grew up at, instead of just going to grow up in America, what country you would pick?
Jamaica.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Good in America.
You good in America?
Not even remotely interested.
Okay. Have you ever been outside the United States?
To Canada and Mexico and the Bahamas.
Okay. All right. Last question in the segment. Trick or treating wise, if y'all did it, what was the candy you was always looking for getting in your treat bag or bucket or pumpkin?
Paydays and Reese cups.
Squirrel nuts.
Squirrel nuts. I don't believe I know what squirrel nuts is.
You got a lot of research to do tonight.
Yes, I do. I never heard of squirrel nuts.
Look up squirrels, man. That's like a very popular candy.
Okay, they still. I mean,
They still make it.
So if I go to the candy shop, where what section I'm going in?
It'll be hard to find.
In the candy shop?
Some special places you might have it. For the most part, it's hard to find.
Okay, because we don't have a candy shop in Augusta, but my girl, she's from Savannah. They have a candy shop.
Sugar daddies would probably be like maybe number 2.
Sugar daddies?
Yeah.
What about the babies? You don't like them?
Those are good, but sugar daddy is more. It seems to be more for some reason.
Okay.
Sugar babies are the bomb.
All right. I learned about that. It was a movie or a TV show back in the day. The kid, was all about the sugar babies and sugar daddies. I can't think what it was. It was a black movie. I can't remember now. It just train of thought as soon as you said it. But that's the end of that segment. I'm gonna go to my next segment. It's called the back issues. And then being in the comics, y'all know all about the back issues. But people who don't know, if you want to know about somebody's origin story, you'll go and read their back issues. So Trial Comics, he want to know about them like I do. You'll read all the issues or collection now, then learn more about their characters' origin stories and whatnot. And so with this segment, we feel learn about y'all origin story. So, in my screen is Todd and Larry. Then with you, Todd, where are you from and what do you call your hood?
What do I call my hood?
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I call my hood Lathrop Village.
Lathrop Village. Okay. So I'm familiar with Detroit, but mile wise, they got each little marker. How far is that from, I guess, 8 Mile, I guess? Oh, the river. No, how far is that from the river? The lake, I guess.
Eastern Market is only about a mile from the river. That's right downtown. And that's about probably 10 miles from 8 Mile.
Okay. All right. What about you, Larry?
What was the question?
Where are you from and what do you call your hood?
I'm from Boston, and my hood is the Boston area.
Okay. And you still in Boston, correct?
Right outside.
Well, what made y'all stay in I guess y'all hometowns?
I stayed here because this is where my family was from. This is where our family business was. All my sisters, brothers, friends, they're all here, and I just had no need to move anywhere else.
I left, and then I came back a few years ago. I was gone for almost 30 years.
Wow. Based my whole life, huh?
I pretty much lived around America in a number of different places.
Okay. But home is where you liked it the most?
It's not so much that I like it more. It's just
convenient.
After a while of living in different places, every place pretty much has the same stuff.
Oh, okay.
But my family is here, so that's why it was better for me to come back here to be with the family.
Okay.
At least close to the family.
All right. Are y'all music lovers?
Yeah, I like all kinds of music, mostly electronic house music.
Pretty much early 80s gangster rap music.
All right. What artists got y'all liking those genres? What songs got y'all liking them?
For me, just electronic DJ type music all just came from the disco era, Donna Summer and, whoever.
Mine kind of started with my Adidas by Run DMC.
Okay.
Which kind of led into a bunch of other things and other types of music, which eventually became gangster rap of the 1980s. That's what I listened to mostly.
Oh, okay. Any Boston artists caught your ear?
Any what art?
You mean as far as rap music?
Oh yeah, rap or anything. Yeah, because it's not really not too much.
New Edition. That was like probably the greatest of all the ones that came out of Boston.
Okay.
I mean, other people, but New Edition probably more so than anybody.
Okay. I mean, Detroit had Motown, man. So
Yeah.
one of my favorite artists is Marvin Gaye. But everybody comes out of here, from the
Yeah.
Motown.
Mm-hmm.
Aretha Franklin, came out of here. She wasn't Motown, but Smokey Robinson, Temptations, everybody,
Yeah. It's kind of like almost how Memphis was a little bit.
Oh yeah, Memphis, the Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you, Specks? What's your favorite music genre?
Hip hop, rap. But what got me liking music was of course in the '90s R&B. My sister and my mom listened a lot of R. Kelly and uh, Soul for Real, Usher and Genuine, stuff like that. Drew Hill. So I was getting play a lot, and it's old stuff too, like Gerald Levert and Luther. Um,
So you
uh,
said you were in the music business. What did you do?
so how I got started, I wanted to manage one of my friends. So got a couple books from Barnes and Noble, read up, and he thought I was gonna be a manager, and he got to a point where he's gonna get to a situation, and he thought the guy was gonna lead him there and get him signed and whatnot. And like a week or two before it came, the guy just went ghost on him. So we did all this preparation. Now we were stuck. But since I was reading all them books, I was like, you know what? How about we just do our own thing? And if we get signed, and we just recruit all our money. So I did that with him and 4 other people, and outside, like smoke and mirrors. I can say it was we did stuff, but really we didn't do nothing. Like we was going to a lot of shows and showcases of artists that blew up, like of course like Future, you know who he is. Like we was going to showcases like with him. He was a little bit more popular than it was, but we was going to the same showcases and stuff. Like eventually we start opening up for him. Like we did it like 4 or 5 times, and we was doing that all in Atlanta. And we decided to come back to Augusta. Like let's get our city behind us. And when we came back, like we was doing all that stuff in Atlanta, but when we came back, we was like nobody really knew it was Augusta, and some of them like their motivation broke from that. Mm-hmm. So I fell back, but by that time I was being a DJ as well. I learned how to DJ, so I just went on myself to become a DJ, and I got real popular DJ and did a whole bunch of stuff. And I was in college as well for marketing because I wanted to market music stuff, like put artists on billboards, CDs, and all that stuff. I wanted to go to college for that. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting an internship with a record label called Think It's a Game. The biggest artists you probably know would be like Trinidad James or Richard McQuan. That's the independent label that was under. And a newer artist, I basically from day one I was with till I guess till he got locked up was Wife and Lucci. The guy who I guess Young Thug trial for currently is rival. I was there since day one of him trying to get signed and getting signed and marketing him to like a point. He got like in a record one night. I even got like little plaques for my work, of it too. As DJ wise and stuff. So like,
all right.
Yeah, I got little accolades, but still ain't driving a Maserati or nothing like that. So
that's just yet.
Yeah. So like, he ended up getting hurt, and that stopped us from touring. And I came back home, met my girl, and have a couple kids. Then once he got healed up, he started. I don't know what happened and whatnot, and got that stuff and got arrested. So I fell back, got a real job and whatnot, had kids, and just talking to my girl about what I used to do in high school, like draw and stuff and writing stories. She told me to, I should try to do comic books and whatnot, or go back and writing stories. And from redoing research, learning that I don't want to pitch my story or write a story to Marvel DC, I decided to make my own, and I mean, pretty good in my eye doing it.
So you put it out yourself.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Congrats.
You need your own label?
My own record label or comic book?
Comic book.
Yeah, I'm rebranding right now. It was my music stuff, like my music stuff called Specks Vision, and I just added comics to it. But I want to rebrand it as something totally different now, something more meaningful. So I'm currently in the process of solidifying that now.
Well, just so you know, for now, because me and Todd, we're not sneaky about anything. We just tell people straight up. But we just think the name Specks Thompson is a cool name, and we're probably going to name one of our characters that name.
Oh, I already got it. You know, that's the pen name. You can't get that one. Yeah. I got that's my artist name already. You know, I'm already on iTunes like that. So I mean, it's already on I don't know what website. So book wise, music wise, I already got it.
Well, see, this
we'll just redo the spelling.
Yeah,
I mean,
Specks Thompson. This is gonna be Spectacles Thompson.
I see what y'all doing there. I see. Y'all trying to do me like Grand Theft Auto, you know, put my image out there and name and say it's not me.
We wouldn't.
Except we're telling you that's what we're gonna do. We're not
on camera.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. My next question: comic book or comic TV show wise, what got y'all into comics?
I got into comics because my older brothers read comics. There was always comics around the house, and it just became this entertaining thing, this fantasy thing that just tied in with, you know, the cartoons we like to watch, the things we like to do together, and just became enjoyable after that.
Okay.
Me, pretty much the same thing. Other than that, it was the reason why I learned how to read.
Okay.
And I've been reading comics ever since.
Okay. Selling my books. I don't know if they're teachers or just concerned parents. They had asked me, do I have books for like younger kids to read, to help reading? Because I learned that two things. The bigger books, chapter books, some kids are intimidated by those, and they can read or want to read, but just all them words intimidate kids. And comics help kids read better, as well as kids learn words that they wouldn't normally know or hear through comics as well.
That's true.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. So I'm on a process trying to get me a young kid book just for that reason, because I was asked that multiple times, and I was like, why not? And plus, I got young kids as well, so I'm trying to read them, you know, comic books, but you know, I got 3 and a 4-year-old, so I mean, they just like hearing daddy talk. So
yeah. Educational side of comics that is, you know, doesn't get talked about that often, but you know, it's very much a vocabulary expander and just a good way to get people interested in reading, period.
Mm-hmm. What it is, instead of you trying to get them to read it, what you do is you just go into their room and just lay the comic down and walk away.
Oh no, my kids want me to read. They bring me books.
Their book, they want to know what's in it.
Yeah, they bring me books to read all the time. Like my oldest, she tries to read everything, like from like driving on the road, the signs on the buildings, and they say at school she tries to read everybody's name tags and little signs they have on the wall and stuff. So like they like to reading and learning. So I mean, I don't think I have trouble forcing them to read anything. But since y'all grew up with comics from, you know, y'all older siblings, so when did y'all find out y'all was nerds?
I don't think we ever thought we were nerds.
Title nerd and all the other stuff that people come up with, man, that's usually decided by somebody else. I don't think you ever anoint, hey, I'm a nerd or whatever. You know, it's like those started out as terms of people trying to teach. And then
the thing is, when we were in school, even though we read comics and all that kind of stuff, we were never the kids that got picked on. I never got picked on. Todd never got picked on. If anything, we were more popular. I was more popular because I was an artist in the school and because I read comics and I, never hid them from anybody or anything. I was usually pretty good at talking with the girls, so I always had some girls hanging around me or whatever. So all of the stuff that dudes thought they either wanted to do or thought would make them popular, me and Todd were already doing that in school. So when I hear people talk about, oh, I used to get beat up because I was reading comics and stuff, I'm like, I don't understand that because none of that even came close to happening to me.
Yeah, that wasn't our.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I hear it too. I they it's a term that I don't want to use, but I mean it fits what I'm going to say. It's called a imposter syndrome. So I feel like coming from the music industry, coming from the comic book industry, I'm coming in and I hear stuff like that. Like, oh, I got bullied, da da da. But like, I never got bullied. I mean, I was always upfront about what I like, just like y'all was, and I was able to.
Said about the imposter syndrome, I think that becomes a popular cliche story that a lot of people like to tell. Mm-hmm. And, it doesn't always go together, man. Everybody's experiences are individual. I don't think it's just like, oh, you read comics as a kid, you were bullied. I don't think it all goes together like that,
Yeah. Because I was able to mingle in all the social groups. Like I played sports, so I played sports, and I hang out with the street kids. And then also I can go play Yu-Gi-Oh or talk about comic books or anime with other kids. I was able to do everything. So I never experienced
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
My son used to play that all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, I played it. Now think about that. See, I played it in middle school. But once I got to high school, I knew to cut it out, like not to bring that stuff to school. But
before you got bullied, huh?
Yeah, they was bringing them to school, laying out little mats on the table and stuff like that. Like, yeah, y'all pushing it.
I remember as a young, kind of hitting that age where I had to give up. Well, supposedly we had to give up having action figures and all that other kind of stuff because they said that was for little kids. But now all the adults that I know, my age and older, all collect that stuff. They've always collected that stuff.
Because the kids ain't buying the toys no more. They on their tablets and whatnot.
Yeah.
But just saying that, them same toys are coming back out. I see the toys that I had as a child come back out in the same packaging and stuff. Like, I was like, oh my god, I had that same toy. And it makes me like feel like, do I need to buy that toy? But then I got to think like, my mom. I was pretty sure my mom spent like $5 on this toy. Now looking at this toy, it's like $35. I think somebody's getting ripped off somewhere.
Well, if you look at a lot of stuff from your childhood too, it becomes revisited and it's like worth 10 times.
Yeah.
It used to be, because people, when people get older and get in a different income bracket, they start craving their childhood again. And go back and buy the same stuff they already had as kids.
Yeah, I remember as a kid going to the store and buying my first G.I. Joe, which was like about $3 in a box. And a broken G.I. Joe on eBay is like over a couple $100 now.
Yeah. So, I had several games. I had, the new game system come out and you just get a new game system. I had a couple of games that like GameStop or the flea market guy would give me like quarters or $1 for the game. And now them same games are like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Now.
They know.
Yeah, like I seen the rise of one. Played it all the time, in arcade, Marvel vs. Capcom. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came on PS2. And it was a rare copy. I found it for cheap. And just going to GameStop one day, they had it for like $60 at GameStop when everything else was like $5, $2 for PS2 game.
Well, sometimes the whole collectible market is just who can hold on to it the long enough. Story. Mm-hmm. People move around, people get floods, people get stolen. Yeah. So the last man standing is the guy that could hold it the longest somewhere where it was nice and clean. time.
Yep.
I remember buying. I was actually in the store to buy some other stuff, and just as I was about to walk out the store, something kind of caught my eye. So I bought this book, and it was like 50 cents. Well, it turns out it was the first appearance of the new X-Men, and now that book is like over $200,000.
Yeah.
You know, but
Um.
you don't know, and that's not how you see that stuff when you're that age. You're just having a good time with whatever it is.
Yeah. I believe around the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, as a Spider-Man toy came out, me and my friend, we both got the same toy for Christmas, and it came with Ultimate Spider-Man #1. And when that came out, nobody liked that issue at all because it was so different from original Peter Parker. But boy, if I'd have kept that comic book now, I have some money.
Yeah,
because that comic's worth. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's in that segment. I'm gonna go on to my next segment. It's called Hotkeys. It's a double meaning term in comics. It's about key issues. When a new artist, new writer, a new character, a new storyline get introduced, you want to collect it because it could be turned to a TV show nowadays or a movie. As well as music, it's a button on a turntable that a DJ or a producer will press on a laptop to trigger sounds or songs to get everybody live and turned up in the event. So this segment is get everybody highlight certain things about y'all, people know about y'all, what y'all do. Questions I have ahead of time, or questions I formulated while we was talking. So with that being said, how did y'all meet each other? How did y'all come together?
We met each other because I ran a comic book store to a convention and invited Larry as an.
Okay. So from that, what do you hire him as an artist? You invited him or you hired him?
We invited him to a convention. We threw a convention to promote our store.
Mm-hmm.
He came in as an artist, and we just hit it off from there. Became friends, and he came down a couple more times for some other conventions and stuff, and just a friendship group from there.
Okay. Prior to was y'all doing your own writing and comic book work?
Larry's been a professional artist for over 30 years. The Tribe was my first book in.
Okay. How'd you get into being an artist, Larry?
How I get into being an artist or comic artist?
Artist in general, drawing and whatnot.
I've never remember a time not drawing. It's just been forever, basically.
What'd you start out drawing?
Stick people and houses with suns up in the corner. I still draw that stuff. Just a little bit better at it now.
I just didn't continue past the stick and the sun up in the corner.
Yeah.
And the squiggly line trees, and
Yep.
the stars, all the good stuff.
But what made you? So what got you past the stick figures? What want to do like?
You just keep drawing. What it is through most of the time of being an artist or being anyone who's doing something creative, it's hard to gauge your development or how good you are by the people who are around you, because the people who are around you are friends and family and stuff, so they're always going to be complimentary to you. You still don't really have any idea, so every now and then you might enter an art show or get something of yours published in some newspaper or something, and that's how you begin to grow and have a better understanding of how this whole thing works. And then eventually it gets to a point where somebody wants to not just publish your stuff, but give you money for it. And that's when I've made it now.
Okay.
Because there are people who think that they make it because they think they're good. And I'm like, a lot of people are good. I mean, you can go in the churches all over America and hear some of the greatest singers on the planet. But how many of them have record deals?
True.
So
Yeah.
art is the same way.
Yeah, you pretty much don't become a professional until somebody's willing to pay for it.
All right, makes sense. Makes sense. So Try was Todd first comic. What was yours, Larry?
Shit, I don't remember. I did some backup stories for a book called American Flag for a company called First Comics,
Oh.
and then I eventually worked my way into working for other comic book companies, and then I did work with DC, and then I eventually stuck with Marvel and did most of my work at Marvel.
Okay. What made y'all want to come together to create a book?
Everybody who does comics wants to create a book. So
I mean, just y'all too. Y'all put y'all minds together and did it. So what made y'all?
Well, what I'm saying is everybody wants to do that, but just one day I just said to him, "Hey, you want to do a comic?" He said, "Okay," and then we started the process.
Yeah,
Okay.
Saying that everybody that's creative in this thing at some point you've thought or wanted to do your own thing. You know, you've been reading other people's things, and eventually you said, "Hey, I would do my thing like this, or I would do my thing like that," and then you just the people that choose to actually go ahead and do it, those they just take it to another step. Just like you've been reading books, you collect the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you went to the movie, you talked to your friends at the Green Box, but at some point you sat there and said, you know what, I'm gonna put out my own damn comic.
Yep.
And then you did it. That's even worse. A lot of people can say I'm gonna put out my own comic, but then you execute it and actually did it. That's a whole piece of brain power.
Yeah, I got a couple of friends. They tell me that I'm inspiring to them because I actually did it and I just like them,
Man,
and,
the doing is everything. You know that from the music business, having kids, having a woman. Doing is what's happening, man. Not talking about it.
Yeah, that's facts. This Zero issue that I read. So what was was that initially one that really popped for y'all, or was it the issue 1?
Issue 1 is the one that's popped and started the whole thing. Issue 0 was actually our issue 4. It just
okay, because I was reading it, and okay, that's why I was kind of thrilled. Yeah. Okay,
the Zero thing at the time that book came out, we couldn't even explain with you a good reason why we did the Zero, other than all the Zero issues just a very popular marketing ploy at that time that people would like to buy Zero issues. It doesn't make sense, and that's what was in play now. Like you said, you took marketing from one era is not the same marketing from another era. True. But as it goes, that's issue 4.
And sometimes you look back at stuff that was going on at the time, you say, why did people do this? This doesn't even make any sense. But at the time, it made sense because it was something that was popular at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was
right.
And the thing is, you never know what's going to be popular, and you never know how long it's going to last. That's always the difficult thing of doing anything that's creative. Everybody who's creative can do something. But the thing is, how do you take that something and turn it into something, where, you could get to that point where you can buy that Maserati that you want.
All right. With an issue 1, Larry, you said you was working for Marvel and DC ahead of time, and Todd, you had a store. So putting out y'all book together, you having a store and on some pro secrets, I guess. Did y'all have a leg up? Because y'all know what they want and what they buying.
No, you never know that. You're still just guessing. It's a guessing game all the time. Putting stuff out is constantly guessing. And sometimes something that might work at one time might not work at another time.
Yeah. And it's all guessing, but it's just the difference of a cold guess versus a slightly educated guess.
Okay.
That's the only slant that you have. That Larry's strength in the business is that he does know some of the stuff that people liked, and he was an artist that people really crave. Owning a store, a little bit more about marketing than the average person, but that's still it's still all just guesswork.
And if you follow the history of, say, for instance, anybody in the music industry, depending on what kind of music is popular at that time, they're going to at least do something that's similar to that if they don't actually outright do that. And then fans say, oh man, they selling out. They copying just what everybody else is doing. But that's what you do to make a living, Yeah. I mean, that's how you make a living. But like I said, it's only when you look back at it that you start to say, well, why does this happen? Why did that happen? Whatever. But during the time that you're in it, it's like whatever it is that you're into right now, as far as music, 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be something completely different. You can't keep just doing the music that you're doing today. So you make some type of transition to try to ease your way into the other thing. They said, why is an old man trying to do the same kind of music that we do? Because that's what people do,
Yeah. Well, I've been beating around the bush about the comic. So tell the people, what is your comic about?
Our comic book is just a black superhero team. It's to say just what it's about, it's just about the adventures of those individuals that are part of this team. And the stresses and things that they go through trying to survive, and people attacking them, and things that whatever agenda it is, that's a very broad thing to just say. Well, what's it about? It's just about action and adventure and superhero stuff. About people that run at super speed and people that turn into liquid metal and a big robot doing whatever they do. What the heck is Yu-Gi-Oh about?
Yeah.
Everything is about just a continuation of just a story that just to draw you in.
Okay. Art style wise, definitely y'all was drawing characters and stuff that wasn't the same as those being drawn at the time. And what picked me up, really caught my eye was the woman, like super thick woman y'all got on there. And listen to an interview. I haven't interviewed the guy yet from the Ant guy, but did you catch any slack or for that? Or
No.
y'all brought more attention and like, oh yes, that's what we needed. That's
what I've mostly heard is people saying that that character that I drew looks more like women that they know than most of the other characters that are drawn in comics. And I've gotten a lot of compliments from a lot of women who said, thank you very much for drawing a character that looks like me.
So the short answer is no, we didn't catch any slack or flack. Just it was all good.
That's good. That's good. So marketing wise, your book, how long it took for y'all got pick up for distribute out the different markets?
That's all handled by each time it's distributed out. That's back then, and it's still like this now. Distributors order the copies that the stores order. Okay, then that number comes to you. You can order the exact number or a little bit over if you want, some stock. Goes to the printer, and the printer sends it straight to the distributor. The distributor sends it straight to the retail stores. So you have very little to do other than, ordering how many that's needed. You don't really have anything to do with distribution.
Oh, okay, so they knew about y'all book, word of mouth or of it, and they ordered straight from there, and y'all just supply the book.
It's a combination of things. Back then, it's a little bit different now. It's word of mouth. It was the industry publications. All the distributors send out these like ordering books to the stores so they can flip through it and see what's being offered that month. Well, now you have social media, so you can have people screaming loud on their Facebooks and Instagrams and TikToks and all that kind of thing. So, promotion wise, you have a little bit leveling of the playing field.
You have options to raise money, whereas back then, all you had the only option you had is going through a company that already existed.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they're not interested in your stuff because they're interested in something else that's more popular at the time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all these methods, or you can just put your book online and do, digital printing. You can print one copy. You can print 5 copies. You can do just, print to order. That
Yep.
didn't exist back then. Back then you had minimums that you had to send to a printer on a big, huge printing press. And, so it wasn't always for everybody.
And a lot of reason back then that a lot of people didn't want to carry your stuff because of being unsure of what it is. They didn't want to order like a minimum of a few hundred copies, and they might only sell 10.
Mm-hmm.
So they always felt they were taking a chance every single time that would happen. So you had to do a whole lot more stuff to get people interested enough to have confidence in ordering stuff from you. So that's why we were constantly going, doing store appearances and cable shows and conventions, regular conventions. Just everywhere.
Anything you can do. I mean, we wouldn't talk to kids at schools and, colleges. Anywhere you had a voice because you didn't have the internet. Now, it's just a lot different now.
So being a black comic creators with a black comic and being blicky black, how like. I don't know. Did y'all see the gatekeeping or the pushback from that or?
We're black. We're not bliggity black. If that makes any sense.
Okay, it does.
See, I think what a lot of black creators do okay, just like everybody that's a creator, there's no, the color doesn't go before that. We are black, so everything that we come out with is going to be from black creators because we're black.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the race thing doesn't come into it. We're just creators, and this is the stuff we're creating.
Okay.
And every now and then it's going to be blackity black.
Yeah, but no, just that being said, I mean, just because. I mean, they keep saying like it's always, mostly just white people doing the stuff. But with y'all book, I mean, saying get it in the stores and stuff like that. I mean, was it any kind of hardship?
Actually, that's incorrect.
Is incorrect?
It's incorrect because if you take all the comic readers that are in China, that are in Japan, then you take all the comic readers that are in India, all the comic readers who are in other parts of the, so one of the most popular comics on the planet is in Brazil. It sells more than X-Men here does.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's not just white people that's reading these things. Everybody's reading this stuff.
See, the problem is what you're thinking, Specks, is what a lot of people think is the whole comics world is just what comes from Marvel and DC. When the world is reading comics, I mean, if you look around at some of the major comic shows now, they have a huge comic show in Dubai. They have comic shows in Africa. So no, as Larry says, it's not just white people.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that, but that's how that's how they present it. Like it's so much trouble. Like I don't have trouble. Like my first, well, if I did Indiegogo, my first Indiegogo was mostly family, friends, supported, this and third. But just figuring out the indie game and stuff like that, I did a Kickstarter. Didn't know what I was doing too much. It failed, but I did research and got on them interviews and stuff that I was talking about before that I get on talk about a book and people's like whatever. That Kickstarter was a lot of white people, and I was surprised because I didn't expect them like to gravitate towards my book. But
why not?
But you shouldn't make a.
But I mean, just because I didn't know who I was and whatnot. Like I wasn't trying to market it to them. Nothing. Just like Larry said, I'm not looking to be black. Like I don't market my book being a black superhero, black comic there. I literally say it's a southern, urban southern story. Really, just about the south. Somebody events taking place in the south. But I wasn't marketing. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to pick up on it, especially ones that's not from the south at all. Was interested in my book and bought my book. Even now, I mean, I still don't do it, and I won't say I kind of shy away from this, like promoting, like black this, black that. I just wanted to showcase my character is black and stuff like that because I'm still getting all kind of people buying my book, like Asians, whites, blacks, Spanish, or whatever. Everybody's buying it, and like y'all said, it was no race. They don't care. Majority of my people are buying the book because it takes place in Georgia. I'm actually gonna retcon some of my stuff to take place in Augusta. Like I say, he's Augusta superhero, but certain word choices I could have used. So I'm gonna retcon some of that stuff so it's more Augusta based. But
what people want more than anything is they want interesting stories, whether it be comics, whether it be animation, movies, whatever. That's what they're first of all most interested in. So when people pick up something or whatever, that's what they want. They want to know that. So for somebody to start up to do a book that, I'm just going to do this black book about black this and black that, are you really telling a story? Or are you just doing something that you think you need to do? Yeah, which like is do everything is black. But what does that really mean? Because, the black story of all of us is a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
A whole lot of stuff.
Like I had I guess I assume he's popular. I don't know. Outside looking in, blogger. I seen him promote, a lot of black superheroes and some black indie creators, and I tried to reach out to him, and he asked me, the people buy my book just because it's black, or I guess, or black people buy my book. Some lines like that, and I was like, no, everybody buys my book. Like then, I think 2 days later I did a con, and when everybody buys my book, I get them to take a picture of my book for marketing reasons. So I sent them some of the pictures. Like everybody buys my book. Then it was like a dead conversation after that. So I don't know what he was expecting because I don't market my book just to black people. I mean, I see how he runs his stuff, but but I don't. So I mean, I want everybody to buy my book. I want I want everybody's money. But yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, as I'm saying.
People keep putting the black thing on front of it. So are you telling me that all of the white creators that put out the white books, are they all white books?
Yeah. Like one thing, Miles Morales, Brian Michael Bendis, people catch him slack for being a white guy making a white character, but I don't know if I read it or he's in an interview, but his I don't know, his wife or the kids are black, so he wanted to create no characters for them, and that really surprised me because I like Brian Michael Bendis, but I didn't expect him to have black family, and so it all makes sense to me. But people catch him slack for that.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Yeah, because people they say, "Oh, Miles not written by a black character needs to be written by a black writer," and like I hear that a lot, and
that's garbage. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
moving right along.
Yeah, but just to end it like reading, like now I'm in the industry, I look at who artist is and writer, but like growing up reading books, I didn't care who wrote it. I'm just wanting to read, Spider-Man story. I just want to read an X-Men story. I didn't care who wrote it, who drew it, whatever. I just like Larry said, I just wanted a good story.
And that's how you should stay.
Well, I mean, yeah, it still don't bother me. Like stuff like this don't bother me, because it could be one of us and make crap story. Now what? Now they gave a black guy a chance and crap story. So yeah,
a lot of people I've known over the years, friends of mine or whatever, they'll make fun of my choice of entertainment. They'll say, "Yeah, why did you watch that movie? That didn't even seem like that would be good." I'm like, I watched the movie because I thought maybe I'd get something interesting out of it. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care whether it's a big budget movie or some little low budget movie that somebody filmed with their cell phone. I'm more interested in the story than I am in the technical part of whatever it is. So all those little every city has the people that make their little independent movies about uh 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 the game or the prostitutes on the street
The
or
Tubi movies.
chased by the police. I watch all that stuff because they're just these stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care whether it costs $140 million for somebody to produce it or anything like that. I just watch it because of something that's interesting.
Yeah.
I particularly like the low budget bad shark movies. So that stuff. I watch dinosaur movies. I watch superhero movies. I watch all kinds of stuff.
When so with Tribe, was it just a start and an end point for y'all, or what made y'all stop with the series?
I stopped it because I just didn't want to do any comics anymore. So I thought it was going to be a short period of time, and it ended up being like over 10 years. And Todd's always wanted to do it. So, finally he was just waiting for me to hit that point where I just say, yeah, I want to do it too.
No.
And I didn't want to just do comics. I just wanted to do Tribe comics with Larry. So I just waited as opposed to just running around trying to put out some more other books and stuff.
So you didn't go back. You didn't do any kind of writing afterwards.
Nope.
Okay. So 10 year for you doing comics, or 10 years you didn't do art?
10 years I didn't do published comics. I was always drawing. I was always painting all the time. And I did a few books here and there, but nothing on any kind of regular basis. It wasn't until after the 10 years that I decided to come back on a regular basis.
What triggered you to say, I don't want to do comics no more? Just being there so long, you just want to take a break?
I don't know. I was just burnt out at the time. And a lot of things weren't going good in my life at the time. And I just wanted to like I said, just step away for a little while. I thought it was going to be a short period of time, but it ended up being like over 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Todd, so you just want to write Tribe stories. So it was you didn't have any other stories. You want to thought about.
I had a lot of stories, and I did other stories for some other companies when me and Larry were working on stuff. Mm-hmm. But once Larry kind of got out of it, the reason I got into it was with Larry. So that kind of took some of the shine off of it. Part of me wanting to be in the comics thing was working with my friend, Mm-hmm. So part of his disillusionment about the whole industry and all that kind of stuff now kind of just made me, I'll go find something else to do too. Mm-hmm. Wait. So when he was ready, I'm ready,
Was it did y'all feel the demand or the notoriety for y'all book build up during that hiatus?
No, there's always been a quiet demand. It's not like a build up, Mm-hmm. It just people always, say, hey, when you gonna put it back out? When you gonna put it back out?
And then they do articles, whatever happened to Larry Stroman, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you always get that, people will just randomly say, "Oh, bring back Tribe." You'll see something like on the internet, and somebody will reach out to us on Facebook or something and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" So there's always some interest, shall we say?
Okay. How that make y'all?
We're about to see.
How that make y'all feel?
Honored.
Okay.
It's an honor for anybody to accept your creativity. It doesn't see people get hung up on sales that, you got to sell 100,000 books to be successful and stuff like that, man. You're successful as soon as somebody else decides to buy your stuff and make you a professional and say, hey,
People forget stuff quick in this business. Quick. And we were always surprised that no matter how many years went by, every once in a while, somebody would still want to talk about Tribe or talk about the cover of Tribe or something or another having to do with the book. And we just was always surprised that people even kept interest in it after such a long period of time.
That's good. It's an honor.
So during this hiatus, the comic book industry, it changed. We discussed that earlier. So, how do y'all feel about the indie side of it now? Because I guess you don't need a publisher or a known publisher now. So, how y'all feel about the indie side of it nowadays?
Meaning what?
Yeah, you don't need Image, Dark Horse, or Marvel to do your books anymore.
No, everybody to some extent needs all of this stuff, because what you need is access to the most amount of people to buy your stuff. And anything other than that, unless there's some freak accident thing that happens where your thing just happened to blow up and become great, you're just kind of out there struggling. And sometimes that's okay, because I'd rather do the struggling than to deal with a bunch of people that I don't like.
So I mean, even with the a diamond deal, the distributors or the stores, you still think people need more than that? You always need more, but even that's not enough. You don't think?
That is such a foreign name to me now. That used to be such a big name at one time, and now the thought of diamond is just, I don't know. It's there, but it's not really there, because at the time that was the best you can do. But now there's so many other options of things that you can do.
And you don't need
diamond.
You don't need diamond to sell your books. You can sell your books yourself if you want. You come from the music business. Explain MC Hammer selling his albums out the back of his trunk.
Well, I've been selling my book. I did the same with my books.
That's what I'm saying. Do that with anything. How did Master P go up and down the coast selling his albums to? People just have up with people like who do that.
See, way it was presented to me was being on Diamond was like people asking in like if you got an album or song, got like, are you on Apple Music? Are you on Spotify? It's presented to me like that type of thing, like, are you on Diamond type thing. That's why I brought it up, because that was like one of them, like, being on Amazon, like something like that,
Well, what we've been saying all along is we're not saying either yes or no about the diamond thing. We're saying you now have an opportunity to do it other ways also. So yes, you should still do the diamond thing.
Okay.
But you can also do these other things.
Okay. And I thought it was like one like a check mark or like a status quo type of thing, I guess.
No.
If that's what floats your boat, I mean, you put out your book and you have it in your hand right now, right?
Yes.
Did it take diamond for you to do it?
Nope.
Okay, well, there it is. That's the whole answer. That trying to pontificate on it further, you don't need anybody. Just do your thing. And if you know anything about marketing, put it in your own hand. Like you said, you trained and went to school for marketing. Get out there.
Yep, you're right.
And if the normal standard paths don't grant you access, then you create new paths. That's what marketing is all about.
Speaking of the new paths, y'all doing your hiatus now. Y'all came back together. What can people expect?
Sweetness, man. What you talking about? It's gonna be the
Sweetness?
shit.
Okay. Since y'all said previously marketing was different back then than it is now, and back then single issues was a thing, and sometimes now people try to do trades books. Are y'all do a bigger book this time, or y'all gonna do singles, or how y'all gonna present y'all books this time around?
It's gonna be singles, and then when we get enough of them together, we'll do a graphic novel just like everything else. That's kind of an industry standard type of thing.
Okay, so
we just do a book. We do a book that's good enough that Specks Thompson wants to own it in his hand and not rip it off the internet.
I mean, I want a book. I'm gonna try to find that black and gold book. Like, it seems like everybody got that book. I'm gonna try to find that black and gold with y'all logo on it. Like
You know what? I'll go you even one better, man. You just inbox us and we'll make sure you get it. We don't want you watching around trying to find one. We want to send you one.
All right. Because I go on my shelf and I got nice little collection of books going on, so I can have that. So my kids are older, I can present it to them like this.
Yeah, we want to be on your collection.
Okay. So with that being said, y'all in it for a long haul now. Larry, you plan on taking any breaks afterwards?
I'm always ready to take breaks. Except now I take more naps than I did back then. Back then I was tired a lot, so that might have affected how I felt about things. But sometimes I take 2-3 naps a day, so I can feel better. I
understand. Now, I work night shift, so I gotta come home and get kids ready to take to school, then take my nap, pick them up, and do all that stuff. So I understand the naps.
We gonna give it our best shot, Specks. That's what we gonna do. And then when we get tired, walk away again.
All right. As long as you do it, right?
As long as we do it. It's the effort.
Also, I watch I assume you have stories you read that you just kept in the chamber over time. But Larry, I saw a live stream y'all did a couple days ago, and I seen you was still doing pen and pencil. How do you feel about the transition from like pen and pencil or to digital artwork?
Say that again.
Y'all was on a live stream a couple days ago, and I seen you still.
Are you talking about digital stuff?
Computer artwork versus
the actual art. Like you could go to a gallery and actually see the original piece of art. And when people buy and collect art, they want the original piece of art. That's what I prefer to do.
Okay. I interviewed some artists, they did the traditional way. Then they found out, I guess, nuance in how to use digital to tweak this, tweak that. But I found some people like the little human errors and stuff like that. And I guess you like that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those guys are going to regret that years from now. Because I already know of guys who when they exhibit in art galleries and stuff, they say, "Man, I wish I had some original stuff."
Yeah. I had some work done for a couple artists. Not me knowing no better, for a couple artists, and they did it traditional and they said, "Oh, you want an original piece?" And not knowing, like, yeah, go ahead and send it to me. I was like, "No, I'll keep it because I'm just coming in the game." I was like, "I want digital because I can use digital, put it on PDF, and make books." But I didn't understand the value of the original artwork, so I missed out on a couple things like this right here. I got. I was a Power Ranger fan, so Jason Davis Frank was coming in town, and I wanted to meet him, so I got some artwork done, so he can sign. So I got it done, with him and my character, whatnot, and him to sign it.
Who was that? Who's the
artist? The artist was Ron. I can't think of his last name. He does a couple stuff, but I got him to do it. Right, sent me digital. I got it printed out and got it signed. But what I should have done was got the original and got him to sign that. But I not knowing better. Like I said, it would have been way more dope to have the original signed by him. Now that he passed away, and it's a 101, like nobody else has it. I keep it at the house. This is something I just want it for my own collection. But it'd been so much better if I had the original artwork on top of that, and not just a printout from the computer on styrofoam.
Yep.
So yeah, I see the value and stuff like that now.
When I'm at shows and I'm selling original art, people just think that's like the greatest thing in the world because it's not very often that they even get to come across stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one-on-one. Yeah.
At the time, everybody had original art. Now, not that many people.
Yeah. I got an artwork. Is it around here? I don't keep it near no more, but it was an anime. A guy, he took the anime character, made the anime character black or whatever. I was at the convention and I just wanted to support because I thought he was an art. Well, I thought he was an artist and drew the artwork himself and made the character. So all he did was go on Photoshop and change the color palette to the character and make him black. And same image, same everything. So basically, they were just recoloring artwork and selling them at the con.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, that's crazy. But that was my first official con I went to, and I learned, stuff like that. So I mean, I can
That's why they
bypass.
call it a con.
Yeah. Y'all been in the game longer than me too. So I also learned that there's conventions that's comic book for, you're the comic book writer, artist there, the independents. You have these with the entertainers there, the voice actors, the stuntmen and stuff like that. And that really bothered me coming into the game, trying to do conventions, because I first 3 or 4 I came to peep the scene out before I got my own booth. And I see how people just walk past like the independent tables and go straight for these voice actors. And I was like, man, what's the benefit of me being there if people not coming to support comics? They're really coming to take a picture with whoever, and so that bothered me. Then I discovered, real.
The thing is, if those same people were at the shows and those other celebrities were not there, they're still not going to stop off at your table. So the thing is, what you're trying to do is you're trying to attract the people who will come to your table, and it may only be a handful of people, but that's what you want to focus on. The other people that are at the show, or people think that the show's going to be great because it's crowded, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
What's more important is those people that come over to your table to buy something from you, so you can at least pay for your table, get something to eat, nice to stay, and have some nice transportation to come back and forth.
Yep.
The truth. You got to figure out what you're in it for first,
Yeah. My first convention. I did a couple local shows like Free Comic Book Day and little local events. Some my book. My first real convention I had a booth for and paid for and all that was in January. Well, no, I had one in October, but I don't really count that one. But the January one I want to tell a story about. It was an anime convention, and just going forward, I'd assume that these people just would come in there and buy anime stuff. So before, I wanted to get artwork done with my character or some kind of anime related stuff so people can buy it or get drawn into my booth. But I never got time to do it because of my job and kids and stuff. But at that show, damn near every person that passed my table stopped at my table to talk to me. And I literally sold out of books. I was like, people was coming to my booth so much that the news wasn't even paying attention to me.
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What did you bring with you?
My books and for my setup time.
How many did you bring with you?
I probably had 4 issues. Probably 50 each.
And you sold all of them?
Yep. That down. I probably went back with 6 issues.
Now that is true selling out, right there. Not in a bad way. That's true selling.
Because I the ones I came home with, I couldn't pitch it to the people because there was issue 2, issue 3. All my number ones was sold because people was buying 1, 2, 3 like that, or just buy number 1. So I was like, I got these single issues. I sold some random 3s, random 2s, but
And what were you selling the books for?
I sell my books for $7, and I was doing maybe you can catch this math. I was doing if you buy 3 of them, I can do 3 for $20.
Okay, so why do you sell the books for more than what you would sell them in a comic store?
I sell them in the comic book store for $7.
That's what he sells them for.
All right.
Yeah, it was lower when I year 2 ago. I was selling them for $5, and I was told that was too low. Whatever, I should go up, and I tried it at one Free Comic Book Day or some kind of day, Batman Day or something was going on, and I just first guy I was like $7. They was like, oh, that's it. Oh, here.
Who is it that's giving you all your great advice on what to do?
Randoms. randoms who random comic book creators.
So why do you assume that what they're telling you is going to work for you?
I didn't assume. Like I said, I was selling well, they're still saying I'm selling my books too low. But how I'm selling my books and how I want it, I'm keeping it how it is. But I don't assume. I tried the $7 thing out. I was reluctant to do it. I just picked $7 because it was just $2 more than I did. I didn't think that was like breaking the bank for people to buy my book for. And as well, I used to sell my books outside my trunk, and I would say it's $5, and people was always giving me more than $5. So I just even it out. Like, okay, they gave me a little bit more than $5 selling my book. So let me see what somebody buy my book for $7. Then since that first sale, I kept running with it, and people have no problem buying my book for $7, and sometimes I even get more for my book.
Hey, Sketch. I hate to cut you short, but we got to jump on another conference call at 7.
That's cool, man. Let's end the show. I mean, I end the show. You know, just
let's do it again though when the book comes out. Let's talk some comics or whatever.
We can do that. So where can they follow y'all at?
You're gonna help teach us how to sell some comics.
That's right.
I don't know, man. Y'all probably sold more than me, so I mean, we can
don't
teach
mean you can't learn something new.
Yeah, y'all got more tricks to trade than me. You know, y'all been to more stores than me. I'm regional.
You can check us out on Instagram at Tribe Comic, or you can go to our website at tribecomic.com.
Okay. And when they can look for y'all to be back on the show for y'all new book?
We plan on releasing sometime in June.
Okay. And like once again, I appreciate y'all coming on and teaching me a couple things, you know, and letting everybody know some information. Thanks for coming on.
We truly appreciate it, Specks.
Speckz Thompson.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
A new character that we're telling you about right here.
That sounds too familiar. Yeah, that sounds too familiar. I don't know. I might gotta put a TL tribe in my books. How about that?
There you go.
All right.
All right.
See
brother.
y'all.
Take care.